Hi guys! In this video we'll be making these cute denim shorts for dolls. I made these like a proper pair of real life shorts with working back pockets. The only thing is that I sewed them up the front because this fabric is stretchy, so I don't need a zipper or a button. If you use non-stretchy fabric you might need a piece of Velcro. To make our pattern I'll be using the kitchen film and tape method, just covering the doll in some film and then tape so I can draw on the pattern and shape that I want the shorts to be. I only draw on one half of the pattern, since you can just flip it over to make it symmetrical. Once you decided on the basic shape, you can add in details like the waistband and pockets. And here's how I imagine my shorts. Next you want to take a pair of scissors and cut the pattern away from the doll. And here's what the two basic pieces look like. I then traced them onto paper and cut them out more separately so that'd be easier to transfer to the fabric. So here you see the pieces for one half of the shorts. Now you can get out the fabric. I've been using this stretchy denim, but you can use whatever you like. Trace on your pieces and then cut them out, leaving room to sew. Firstly we're gonna sew the pocket piece onto the front piece. I made a closed pocket, but you can make a functioning one if you want. Cut slits down to the curve of the line where the pocket's going to be, fold over the fabric and sew it down in place neatly. I use contrasting thread for detail, but you can use matching if you want. Once you've done that, you want to take the pocket piece and sew it behind the front piece, working in the same line of stitches. And here's how it looks. Now you want to fold up the bottom edge of what's going to be the pant leg and sew this in place as well. Make the other front piece the same way and then keep the one you want to have the zipper look on it. Fold over the middle piece for a neat edge and then mark out where you want the zipper part to be. Then you can sew a few lines of stitches to indicate where the zipper would have gone. I did this all by hand. And that's the two front pieces done for now. Now we can work on the back. In my pattern I divided each of the two back halves into a top and a lower part just for detail, and then you want to sew these two together like we did the pocket on the front. Once the two pieces are put together, then you want to sew up the bottom of the pant leg. Then you want to cut out the piece for the back pocket and fold over and sew down all the edges to make them neat. Then sew it onto the back piece, only sewing down the sides and bottoms, leaving the top open so it's a functioning back pocket. And here's the two back pieces done. Now you can take a matching front and back piece and sew them together at the side. Once the two parts were sewn together, I added a line of visible stitching for detail right by the seam on the front, but that's optional. Once you have two halves like this, then you want to put together the two back sides and sew together at this top curve, joining the two. Now we're gonna add the waistband. I cut it to be one long piece, cut slit along the edges and just sew down the top edge. Then you want to sew it right sides together onto the shorts. Then I stitch around the entire waistband, but again this is optional. Then you want to overlap the two fronts, making sure the one with the zipper part is below, and then sew together the pant legs. Now you want to turn them right sides out and check whether or not you can get them on the doll with to sew them completely up the front. Mine could, but if yours can't, you can simply close it with either a button or piece of Velcro. And here's how they look on the doll. Now you know how to make a basic pair of shorts. How you choose to decorate your shorts is completely up to you. I went very classic and just used a nail art stud for a button, and then I made some small straps and added these around the waistband. And here are my finished shorts. I really like the detail of these straps around the waistband. I really think it makes them look real. So here we are, that's our finished shorts. I really hope you found it helpful and now you can make your own. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a like if you did, and I'll see you guys in a new one real soon. Bye!